but in all seriousness here, no concern at all that as you continue to pile on restrictions, you make it far more difficult, and as a result, you have women who are going to, because you and I both know that women are going to find ways to get abortions in this country. They did so before Roe v. Wade. They'll continue to do so no matter what. No concern that this is going to lead to unsafe conditions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That's some guy named Craig Melvin, I guess acting as a host. He had a guest. I don't know if he knew he had a guest, but his guest on MSNBC is our guest right now. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn is back. I mean, Congressman Marsha Blackburn is back from the great state of Tennessee. Congressman, thank you for coming back. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Steve.
Well, I want to play now what you said in response to the badgering from Craig Melvin on MSNBC about the fact that the Republicans in the House proudly, and I'm happy to say, passed a restriction on abortion after 20 weeks. And here's cut number 3.
We're going to take that action today.
Is this purely pandering?
No, it isn't pandering at all. Is saving the life of women and of babies pandering? Absolutely not. I can't believe you would say something like that.
Congresswoman, you and I
goodness.
both know that the president's not going to sign it. The Senate's not going to take it up. So clearly this is a measure that's symbolic, is it not?
You know what I love, Congressman? I love whenever the Republican House passes a bill that's never going to come to the floor, most probably in the Senate in this session, and the president would veto. It's a waste of time, as if Democrats have never done that.
Well, and the thing is, if the U.S. House of Representatives was not busy every day driving the national discussion on issues like taxes and Obamacare and protecting children, it wouldn't get done. It wouldn't get done. We drive the discussion on out-of-control spending. We drove the discussion on the budget to the point that the American people said, House, you're right. Senate, no budget, no pay. And passed the bill. And the Senate had to take it up. And the Senate had to pass it to the White House. And the White House was shamed into signing the bill. So you better believe we're going to stay busy about driving the national agenda. That is what we're here for.
All right, talk about why it was important for the restriction, the 20-week restriction, to be passed by the House.
Well, a couple of reasons it's important. And number one, first and foremost, is because 80% of the American people think late-term abortions should be banned. Science is on our side on this. Those babies can feel, they respond to pain. When you see all of these intricate prenatal surgeries that take place on these children in the womb, what they do is administer an anesthesia so that that baby does not feel stress, trauma, or pain during that surgery. And so we know that these babies react and respond to pain. Secondly, these babies are viable outside the womb. Our NICUs, neonatal intensive care units, are full of babies, precious, precious children who have arrived weeks and months too early. And those babies, you can watch them respond to the pricks and the prods and the touches and the voices and heat and cold. And so, yes, we know that these babies are able to provide that response and that they're viable outside the womb. And what we want to do is fight for these babies to give them the ability to enjoy life, that first guarantee that is there for them.
Congresswoman, why is it that the Republicans, on a national level, when it comes to the presidential race, they run from these issues? They concede the so-called war on women, and they don't fight. McCain didn't fight it. Romney didn't fight it. When, in fact, it's, as you mentioned, you're in the mainstream, and the Republican platform is in the mainstream with the overwhelming majority of Americans. And if the overwhelming majority of Americans ever knew what Obama had been for, was for, and what was in the platform, they would be outraged.
Oh, indeed they were. And as I said, 80% of all Americans think late-term abortion should be banned. 60% of all Americans think the second and third trimester should be banned. And 64% of all women say that as soon as a baby can feel pain, it should be banned. So what they're saying, and you know, a baby can feel pain at 8 weeks. So what we know is that the president, the Democrats, the Senate, the Democrat-led Senate, they are out of step with the American mainstream. And more importantly than that, they're out of step with what abortion policy is in the rest of the world. We have one of the most liberal abortion policies in the world.
What do you think the future of that bill that you passed yesterday is, if not in this session, maybe down the road? But you tell me.
I think that what you will see, it has gone over to the Senate. We're going to encourage Harry Reid to take it up. There is bipartisan support on this bill. It had bipartisan votes in the House. We are pushing for bipartisan support in the Senate, and we think Harry Reid should take it up. 80% of the American people agree with us. Science is on our side, and we're going to continue to push forward on this issue. You have to end the Gosnell-type abortions that are taking place in this country, and whether it is Kermit Gosnell and his House of Horrors, whether it is Doug Carpin and his atrocities, the atrocities we found out that were taking place in New Mexico, the nurses that came forward from an abortion clinic in Delaware and said, we quit. We're pro-choice. We quit that abortion clinic because we didn't want to lose our nurses' license, our medical license, and we knew if we did not, we were going to lose that license because that place is ridiculously unsafe. It is a meat packing process, packing type abortion process.
Absolutely, and it's going on all over the country, and these are only the ones that we know about. Let me quickly turn the tables here. We got about a minute and a half left. We're talking to Congressman Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. Are you pleased that the Speaker said yesterday that no bill on immigration will be brought up for a vote unless a majority of Republicans are with it?
I am very pleased to hear that. Chairman Goodlatte has long said that what you're going to see from the House is taking up border security, taking up my legislation, the CLEAR Act, and that is the one that would deal with the criminal illegal aliens that are in this country, dealing with E-Verify and making certain there is no amnesty and no pathway to citizenship.
And that's
what you can expect from the House.
Good, and because that's the complete antithesis of what we're getting from the Senate.
Absolutely.
And even Marco Rubio. I mean, even Marco Rubio.
Listen, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Congressman, go back to you. I know